Number 4, Fathom version for part number 1. Part number 1 says we need to take the data we have. Now this data, I have it in a particular format here where I have one column indicating the color, the other column indicating the candy type. So I have all these M&Ms, and then somewhere further on down the list I start with all the Smarties, and then that continues right on down to the bottom of the list. So all colors in one type and candy type in the other type. So it says to identify your favorite color. Well, being this close to Christmas and all, I think my favorite color is going to be red today. And I need to calculate some proportions. So if I go ahead and throw a summary table on here, put color there, then I get all these lovely proportions here. And I can put the candy over here in this column. That breaks them into two separate groups there. And don't really care too much about most of this. Just care about these red ones in here, because that's my favorite color. I'm going to change this, rather than count, I'm going to change this to column proportion. So here I have now the proportions for M&Ms and the proportions for Smarties in red. Okay, and I also have the overall proportion here in the summary, so that takes care of that. Okay, next up I need to do a test here. So let's go ahead and organize the stuff a little bit here. So I'll bring a test into the picture here. This would be a comparison of proportions. And the color would be the value I'm interested, and the candy would be the grouping. And I need to change this to look at red for M&M and red for Smartie. And it says two-sided, so I got to make sure I use is not equal there. And then that should calculate the values I need. Just checking it out. There's the proportion of red, which matches here, and the proportion of red, which matches here. All right. Now I need to open up a text box here. Shrink this down a little bit. In that order, bring a text box here. All right, so I have my null hypothesis here, and I'm supposed to say what that means. So I'm not going to tell you what to put there, but I'm showing you that this is what I want you to do. I want you to put your explanation in here about the null hypothesis.
It's 2 o'clock.
About the alternate hypothesis. About 5%. I want you to tell me what it means to have 5% significance. Where does that number come into play? Why 5? What is that all about? So we are to check for use of the normal distribution. So that means we got to do some more calculation here. Let's just bring a little summary over here. So in this case, we need to figure out where's my totals? They're gone. Okay. $95 times 221 times 1 minus 0.221. So that's the variance on the M&Ms. And likewise, I should calculate the variance. So 180 times 0.1 times minus 0.1. So anyway, I need to explain what those two numbers tell me and why those are important. So that's what I'm going to put down here. The values 16.5 and 16.2. So you need to explain how that indicates the normalness of the test statistic. It says calculate the test statistic. We got that. That's the z-value down here. And explain what it tells you. So z equals 2.736 means that, and then it says calculate the p-value. So p-value equals 0.006 means that. So again, you're going to explain what those two numbers tell you. And then you're going to give your conclusion. This needs to be a full conclusion. Start with something like reject the null because. But you make sure that this conclusion is complete, that it does go on into the full contextual, talking about candies and the color red and those types of things there. So you have to explain what all that means. And that completes task number 1, and that ends this video.